So Star Wars as a whole is a pretty dead brand according to a lot of people, and Star Wars unfortunately is in some sort of identity crisis where it's pretty much being carried by its Disney Plus shows. Like the movies were such a massive fail. Everybody was so angry at the movies that came out recently, the latest trilogy, that nobody really wants to see a Star Wars movie anymore. So they basically went to the show format with Disney Plus, and they basically decided to want to stick with that. And the Boba Fett show came out. Kenobi came out. Now, of course, you have Andor that's out right now. But with Boba Fett, they basically are saying that the actor who played Boba Fett, Temuera Morrison, just recently showcased some regrets over how Boba Fett was actually portrayed in the show. And basically, they're saying that he needs to go back to his old ways. Like, he wishes that Boba Fett was back to his old ways, more masculine, more badass, because he feels like he's definitely not that in the show, and that's not how they portrayed him. So we're going to get into the article, guys. This one's from Bounding Into Comics. But before we do, guys, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the video spread out. We're trying to fight the YouTube suppression right now, and every single like that you put on this video and all my videos will definitely help us do it. It takes 3 seconds. Throw a like on there if you appreciate my content. If you don't, I appreciate you being here anyway. So it says Temuera Morrison laments Boba Fett's depiction in Disney Plus series, and he says, "I think it's time to get him back to his badass ways." Actor Temuera Morrison, who played Boba Fett in The Mandalorian Season 2 and the spin-off series The Book of Boba Fett, lamented the way the character has been depicted in the Disney Plus series. Morrison spoke to ET Online back in June, but his comments resurfaced recently when the outlet included them in a preview for the upcoming Mandalorian Season 3. The actor told the outlet following the conclusion of the first season of the Book of Boba Fett, "We've got to bring him back somewhere. We've got to see the old Boba Fett." And I agree with that too. But you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of the masculine characters in Star Wars, or in Disney in general, because it's not just Star Wars, but because Star Wars is Disney now, you kind of have to add it, all inclusive. Disney unfortunately likes to cuckify their masculine characters or their previously masculine characters. So if they had characters that were known to be total badasses, right? Like total crazy badasses. I'm surprised they didn't do it to Darth Vader yet, to be honest with you. But any character that has been known to be masculine and badass has been cuckified to some point, to some degree, whether in the TV shows or in movies. They did it to the Hulk, you know what I mean? Like they do it to Thor. They did it to so many different characters, and that's what they want to do with their masculine characters because they want to uplift the female characters. And in order to do so, they need to downplay the male characters because they don't know how to actually write strong female characters without downplaying the men. So in this scenario, unfortunately, Boba Fett is also one of the latest iterations of this nonsense. So he then declared, "We reintroduced him, we found out some stuff, but I think it's time to get him back to his badass ways. No two ways around that. So I think we sort of have scope to go back there, but that's out of my control. I'll just see what happens," he added. So yeah, these actors, a lot of the times, these actors may want to portray a character one way, but the script, the director, the studio wants to portray a character another way. And they have no choice but to follow however the studio dictates. That's their job. They're not the ones actually writing this shit. It says Lucasfilm has not revealed a lot about the upcoming third season of The Mandalorian, but they did release a teaser trailer back in September that appears to show a return to the planet Mandalore. It also appears to indicate there will be an ideological struggle within the Din Djarin and possibly even Grogu, as Emily Swallows, the Armorer, appears to cast the Djarin out of their Mandalorian cult. Meanwhile, Kate Sackhoff's Bo-Katan Kryze informs Grogu that Djarin isn't the only Mandalorian and questions Djarin about the cult. Lucasfilm also shared footage at CCXP in Brazil earlier this month. According to Bespin Bulletin, the footage shows Din Djarin and Grogu venturing to Mandalore in an attempt to reclaim Din's honor after he removed his helmet during the second season of The Mandalorian. The outlet also noted that Djarin is involved in a fight against a number of TIE fighters, and there could be a battle against Mythosaur and Mandalore as the footage ended with Grogu reaching out and using the Force against the monster. Making Star Wars claimed back in March the series will introduce a Mythosaur in the season finale. The site noted, "You will see living Mythosaur and it changes everyone around and causes a bunch of trouble before it is brought under control." Now, me personally, I really hope that they do bring the Mandalorian back to light because honestly, Mandalorian was great, especially when Gina Carano was in it. But unfortunately, the whole drama around Gina Carano really put a stain on The Mandalorian. It really did. It put a big stain on the show for a lot of people. The Mandalorian has not been nowhere near as strong in terms of viewership as a whole. After that drama really put a big stain on The Mandalorian. So I hope they go back to bringing something that's worth watching with The Mandalorian. But at the end of the day, I really don't have a lot of faith because it is Disney still in charge of this nonsense. It says another rumor from Making Star Wars claims that Grogu will ride around on the inside of a modified IG-11 suit. The site detailed Grogu literally sits inside the chest of a modified IG-11 who has been reinforced with Beskar and has been turned into the foundling suit of Mandalorian armor. On top of IG-11 being Grogu's suit of armor, Making Star Wars also claims that the droid gives them data on probabilities of success and protects the child when need be. Aside from rumors, Lucasfilm has confirmed in the third season of The Mandalorian and Grogu have been reunited to continue their journey through the lawless galaxy. They've also confirmed the return of Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin and Kate Sackhoff as Bo-Katan Kryze, Amy Sedaris as Peli Amato, Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon, and Emily Swallow as the Armorer. So it looks like they're going to have a pretty strong lineup of actors, which is good. They need a strong lineup of actors, but at the end of the day, the writers are the ones that put this all together. The writers are the ones who are going to, make all these strong characters cohesive. If you can't make them cohesive, if you can't make it something people are going to be interested in watching, then you're going to have a little bit of a failed show at the end of the day. The Mandalorian as a whole, like I said, is unfortunately lower in viewership by a lot compared to their first one. Can it still come through? Absolutely. Can it still pull through? 100%. It can still be a big hit of a show like the first one was, but we're going to see as time goes on whether Disney can actually pull this off or not. I'm going to be a little bit doubtful just because it is Disney at the end of the day. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought of today's story, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.